So how do I grow my brand? That's a question I get asked a lot, and I'm going to answer that in today's Ask Enid. And I will say that it's a question that's a little complicated to explain because, well, first of all, you need to know what branding is. And if you're not sure what branding is, I actually answered this question in my last Ask Enid, so go check Instagram TV or my feed on Instagram or Facebook for that past video where I went really in depth into what is branding. But just to give a quick summary, branding is basically when all your customers, all your clients, all those who interact with your brand, all those who maybe they're just not even customers yet, just people that run across your brand, when everyone can agree that they're having the same experience. And that is based on what you output. And what you output is a voice or a message, so usually writing and actual conversations. It is the look, the visuals, and it is the feel and the motion. So what it is, the personality of your brand. So once those three things align and are cohesive, and everyone that interacts with your business can agree that they're getting the same experience, you know that your brand is a solid brand. So once you have a solid brand, you want to grow it. And a lot of people also think that by growing a brand, it means having more Instagram followers or having more likes on a post, or even having more money in the bank or more customers. But growing a brand is really growing your brand presence. So that means that, you know how we have those household brand names that we all know? Their brand presence is incredible. It is to the point that you could say this name to almost anybody in the United States, sometimes the world, and they know what it is. And it's because they've grown their brand and they've grown their brand presence. Yes, they might have, 1 million followers, but there might be another brand that also has 1 million followers and you don't know their name. So it's not about the number, it's about the brand presence. It's about how well known they are. And that's where you want to be. You want to come to the point where people mention your name of your business and they know who you are and they know what you do. That is the goal. Okay, so before we talk about how to reach this point, we've got to talk about two really important things. And that is, in order to really grow your brand presence, you need to know your target audience and you need to know your purpose and your why. And I will go way more in depth into target audience and into purpose in future Ask Enid episodes. But for now, let's just really say that the most important step about branding is really, really knowing your target audience in depth. Not a general term of like people who like to eat or people who have a car. That is way too broad. You really need to get really, really, really into the details of who this person is and what they believe, what they believe in, what they value, where they spend their money, who they are as a person, their demographics. All that is super important in order for you to grow your brand. And your why is also important. So know what the value is, not only what makes you unique, but also the value of like why you're doing it and why it's important to you and how you're helping others because you care. So I will get more in depth into those two things in future episodes. But for now, just know target audience and your why are the foundations to having a solid brand that you can grow. Why it's so important to have these two foundations is because you need to then share content with your target audience that is of value. And in order for you to share content, and by content I do mean social media and also email and also blogs and also your website, but also your services, I consider them content. I mean, your services, you're giving them value. That one is, the services are paid versus social media is free content, for example. So in order for you to share content of value, you really need to know your audience and what problem you're solving for them. And you need to know who you are that stands you apart from others. So yes, absolutely, knowing your target audience and knowing your why will really help you create content and services that will allow you to be more well known, right? So just to recap, I love recapping. Just to recap, make sure you know your target audience. Make sure you know your why and your purpose. And 3, share the heck out of all this, right? So now we're at step 3, and this is really about creating more curated and intentional interactions with your audience by using this information that you've gathered so far about your target audience, about your purposes, about your services. And once you have all that, your brand presence will grow because it'll be irresistible for your target audience to interact with you. You're speaking directly to them, giving them the value that they want, giving them the information that they want, giving them the services that they need, and they will have no choice but to really stop and say, oh, this is for me. Let me also share it with other people in my community that it's also for. And that, my friends, is how you grow your brand. It really is it's really not like by buying followers, or it's really not by this crazy marketing scheme that has multi-level steps that you need to figure out in order to get more and more people in the funnel or all that stuff. All that stuff is great, and I would love to talk about all that in the future, and I will. But the core of growing your brand is all about growing your brand presence, which is a fancy word for saying your brand awareness, for people knowing who you are and what you do. And the way to do that is by speaking to them directly. And how you speak to them directly is by knowing who you are and who you want to speak to. So let me know if you're confused or if you are enlightened. Send me more questions. Send me all the questions. I want to answer all of your branding questions. And let me know if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. If you agree, if you don't agree, if you got something out of it. Let me know. And also, in case you don't know and you should know, I'm going to be teaching a completely free masterclass called 6 Steps to Achieving a Professional Brand on a Budget. And it's going to be on Tuesday, June 30th, 2020, in case you're watching this in the future, at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to RSVP, DM me your deets and I'll send you the RSVP link, or check the link in my bio and RSVP there. And it's going to be incredibly fun. I will be going through the 6 steps in order to achieve that professional brand that you want. And also I'll be doing a Q&A at the end of the masterclass. So prepare your questions and I'll answer them live. And the good thing with the Q&A is that I can answer more targeted questions to your business. So here I'm kind of doing a little bit of general, but if you're on the masterclass, I can answer your specific question to your specific needs. So yes, I'm excited, super excited to do that. And I have more things coming that I don't want to spoil just yet, the details, the secrets about it, but you've been asking for my help, and I shall give it to you, because that's what I'm doing. I'm giving you value for my target audience. Okay, thank you. See you next time. See you Monday.